All right, today we're going to talk about line breeding rabbits. Why you might want to do it, why you might not want to do it, what exactly it is. We're going to get into it now. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. So let's start this video off talking about what is line breeding. Line breeding, when we're talking about rabbits, really anything, but we're going to be talking about rabbits today. Line breeding is breeding back rabbits to their parents, to their grandparents, or to their great-great-grandparents, breeding back in the same line that those rabbits came from, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a taboo topic in some ways, but it's a very common practice. So why would you want to line breed your rabbits? The most common reason why you'd want to line breed your rabbits, I guess there's two common reasons. One is if you're limited on breeding stock, you just can't find other breeder rabbits. You can breed back a buck to its mother, or you can breed back a doe to its father. And you can do that and get away with it. It's not going to cause any kind of problems with your rabbits. You want to avoid breeding back siblings together, but I'm kind of getting off track. We'll get into that here in just a minute. The other common reason why you would want to line breed is to strengthen your herd. So if you are looking at, like me, I don't worry about that. I buy new breeder rabbits whenever I whenever I need them. But if you have some rabbits with really good genetics and you're looking at building up a larger rabbitry, you really want to perfect your bloodlines and get really good high quality rabbits. That's where line breeding comes in, because what happens is you get a rabbit that has really good traits, whether that be temperament, whether that be the growth rate, the feed to meat ratio, any number of those kinds of things that you think, man, this is just a fantastic rabbit. So you might want to take one of those offspring and breed it back to that mother or back to that father, whichever one it is, so that you can carry on those traits. By line breeding, what you're doing is you're going to be accentuating the traits that the rabbit has. Now, that means you're going to accentuate the bad traits, you're going to accentuate the good traits as well. But most commonly what you're doing is you're selectively breeding your best rabbits back to their mother to really amplify those good traits, or back to their father to amplify those good traits in that rabbit. Again, it could be any number of things that you want to focus on. Most commonly it's going to be things like growth rate, feed ratio, feed to meat ratio, how much they eat compared to how fast they grow. It's going to be their temperament, something like that. Now, the only things you need to be aware of is, like I said, if you've got really bad traits in your rabbits, then it's going to amplify those traits as well, or it could amplify those traits as well. So you probably don't want to take a poor quality rabbit and breed it back to its parent. You're not going to end up with good results. You're looking for more really high quality rabbits that you've got. They've got just fantastic traits of some kind, not any kind of negatives, or not a lot of negatives anyway, and then you would take those and breed them back to their parent with the hopes that with those babies then would have even better qualities, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much how all dog breeds have come up with, been bred down to, I should say. How meat rabbits, good breeding stock with meat rabbits have been developed is with line breeding. Now again, you're talking a son to a mother, or a daughter to a father, or to a grandfather, or to a great-great-grandfather, or something like that. But you don't want to breed siblings. You don't want to breed brother and sister. That is really too close to the gene pool, and you're going to amplify all their traits immensely, including the bad traits. You're going to stand a good chance of getting a lot more bad traits out of them than you would good traits. It's really not good practice to breed siblings together. Even half siblings, I would stay away from that. But you can breed back several generations. So you can breed a doe and a buck, then take a son from that litter, breed it back to the mother, and then take a son from that litter and breed it back to the grandmother. You can do that several generations down. You're probably not going to run into any problems for a very, very long time. You can breed back, any number of things up the gene line, I should say, but you don't want to go sideways. You don't want to go siblings, if that makes sense. So you wouldn't want to breed a doe to her son and then take that baby and breed it back to one of the other rabbits from that same litter as the father. If that's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully you kind of get the idea. So always go up the line: mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, that direction. That's the direction you want to go with that. It's a very common practice, and it can actually be very, very good. Now, if you are in the process of trying to develop really good bloodlines in your herd, you want to have really fast growth rates, you want to have good feed ratios, you want to have good temperament, that means you're going to be line breeding more than likely to get those traits in your rabbits, but you're going to want to cull very, very hard. That means be very, very picky with which rabbits you choose and you keep and you can include in your breeding stock going forward, and cull out anything that has any kind of bad traits. If they grow a little bit slower, if their temperament's a little bit off, if they're, they eat a little bit more than the other rabbits do, any of those kinds of things, cull those out and only keep the very, very, very best rabbits in your herd. And over time, you're going to end up with very strong bloodlines and very good rabbits. So, see, I babbled on there for a little while, but I think hopefully I kind of cleared that up. I have talked about line breeding in the past, and it comes up occasionally in the live broadcast, but I don't think I've talked in detail about how many generations you can go. And again, there's not really a limit. You can go many, 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 many generations. Just watch for, if you start getting, litters that have more bad traits than good traits, then you're probably going to want to introduce some new bloodlines in there at some point or something. But other than that, you're probably not going to have any problems. You can go many generations deep in line breeding. So hopefully that clears that up for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.